Welcome back. You're watching Cheche, the show where opinion counts, and standing in for Udwa Kamimo, and we're hosting Josh Mangi, the chair of the Forum of Deputy Governors. And we'll go back right to the issue of health. And you were saying that the health sector in the counties has actually improved since, and both and everybody has disagreed.
That's because you do not have the facts on the ground. Let me use the example of Kisi as I was starting. Since independence, we have never had a renal unit in Kisi, level 5 hospital. When we took over, first we changed Kisi level 5 hospital to a level 6 hospital, teaching and fire hospital. We created a renal unit. Now we have 4 or 5 dialysis machines, which we bought once we came in. We have a whole refurbished orthopedic unit. We have a new wing. We have a new ward. We have a new ward. We have done quite a number of improvements. Now, is that enough? Not necessarily. We intend to do more. But the biggest problem in healthcare is how it was devolved. And this is something I want you to listen to me very carefully. The truth is that the way healthcare and indeed other functions were devolved was not proper. The law is very clear on how devolved functions are supposed to be handled. The first step was TA, the transition authority, was supposed to go and carry out an audit and what we call a costing, so that we say, for example, the Minister of Health was spending 3 billion shillings or 2 billion shillings in Kisi district, which now is Kisi County, before devolution came. So they say we need 3 billion shillings to manage healthcare in this county. The second step was to do an evaluation. Does Kisi County have the capacity to do this, to handle this function?
That is the part. And
if it said yes, then they will come to Nairobi, release the function plus the funds that needs to do that. And fortunately, what happened, and this you must blame both parties, is that functions were devolved,
politically. Your governors went to the State House, they made noise, and the president said, Chukua.
I agree with you.
So it's not the government. It is the way the governors, because they wanted power. They wanted power. So they were given.
What needed to be done first was first and foremost cost the function.
They didn't wait.
Let's see how much it costs to run. Then second, do an evaluation, so that when we give you the function, we'll give you the funds. Now, because that costing was not done, we took over the function without the money. The money remained in Nairobi. And this is why the Minister of Health in Nairobi, this is why Macharia has 200 billion to manage which healthcare is going to manage, because health is a fully devolved function.
Since the costing was okay, even the costing is not the biggest challenge. It is the capacity of those counties to handle. The second phase was not well done. Is there a rethink? Like maybe we need to go back to the table and think through this and see where the mistake is, because the crisis persists.
That's what governors have been saying all through. We have been saying, where there's a problem, let us sit down with the Minister of Health so that we can see if there's a problem, we resolve it. But this clamor by the Minister of Health saying that county governments have failed to deliver in health, so that let us take it back, is counterproductive. There are only 2 ways you can take a function that has been devolved. Number one is if the county governments choose to donate it back. And I can assure you, they're not about to donate it back. The second way is if there is evidence that county governments are unable to manage a particular function, then there has to be a referendum to take it back. So, there are those who want to cause chaos in county governments so that they can look like the county governments are unable to manage the function of health, so that they can say now, because they have failed to do this, let us take it.
So the argument. Let me go.
And
back.
Let
me go back to Kisi. You have mentioned what you have done.
Yes.
Just mentioned ambulances and the buildings, equipment. You have left the critical aspect of it.
Service.
Human beings, the staff. You have not mentioned that, in fact, many counties have built dispensaries. There are no drugs, now no people to man them. The CDFs have done the same. Dispensary schools, no teachers, no doctors, no nurses.
It's interesting, Makali says that. If I can just add somebody here, Felix from Meru, who says, tell the DG that structures are not the health sector.
Exactly.
They can build Hata Magorofa, but it is the personnel who serve people.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly. Your response?
I will tell you this. If I use the Kisi example, we have employed more doctors than they were there before we came in. We have increased the number of nurses, and we have increased. Right now, the ratio of nurses to patients is, I think 1:4.5 there. So we have done very well in terms of employing nursing staff. But other than doing that, we have also made sure that service delivery is effective. And you see, our motto is not even to promote curative services. Our motto is to promote preventive services, so that if we can prevent a disease from happening, the better. Now, have we changed? Does the ordinary Mwananchi in Kisi feel a difference between the kind of health service they're getting today and what was there before we came in? Yes, we have improved. Can I say the same about other counties? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But I'm saying the majority of the county governments in Kenya today are offering better health services than what they were before. But because of this desire...
and not the others? Why is Kisi successful and not other places? Even Embu, we are the governor here saying health services is proper. But in other places, particularly where we have level 5 hospitals, which are supposed to be devolved, there's a lot of problem with nurses and doctors.
Yeah.
Many of them
what is this persistent problem about payment?
Yeah.
Paying staff?
Where to get the money? Where other countries can't get?
Why is there this problem?
Thank you for accepting that these kids are doing fine and the Embu is doing fine.
According to what the governor told me.
Yeah, so at least we have examples of where we've done well. The problem with delayed salaries, honestly speaking, and I'll tell you the truth, and we get shocked when people from the national government come and question why county governments are delaying salaries when money comes from the national treasury. Now, if money, for example, in the whole month of July, no money came from the national government. Money came very late.
Because of transition, because
yes.
financial year.
So if there was a transitional problem and we did not get money to pay these people, how do you blame us when you didn't give us money to pay? Honestly speaking.
Is that the only problem? I mean,
but you asked about
delayed payment is phenomenal in all counties, and not just the staff.
Yeah.
In fact, staff are better. They get late salaries after a month or before the month ends, they're paid. Contractors, and Kisi is one of the notorious ones. People are not paid at all, and money has already been assigned to for those projects. What is the problem?
Let me answer salaries before I go to contractors. The issue of salaries, Makali, in Kisi, there's only been a delay in paying salaries during the transition period only.
July, August, June there.
Yes.
Yeah.
During other times, we pay on time. And you also need to sympathize with us. Treasury delays to give us money to pay, then accuses us of not paying in time. The other day, the chairman of COG asked a very valid question. If the Minister of Health is able to pay its doctors by 25th of every month, by 25th of July they were paid, why didn't they give us money to pay our doctors by the same time? You don't give us money in time, and then you accuse us of not paying on time. Now, the same mechanism that is put in the national government to ensure that during the transition period there's enough money to pay salaries should also be put in county government, so that the national treasury releases money to us in time to pay the workers. If they delay and then they blame us,
well, I mean, Mangi, if that is a small matter, you can always alert your workers that, look, because of this transition, salaries will be delayed, and people can expect, rather than they wait until the salaries don't show up, and then you begin to find reason. Isn't that a matter of contingency? And can't you make contingency?
And we've got a comment here, somebody from Kisii saying, to date, health workers in Kisii County haven't received their salaries yet. I don't know, is that true?
I will tell you for sure that as we speak here today, the salaries were processed. And what is the day today? Today is
second.
Today is second. Surely salaries were processed because we got the money threats was processed, and I will tell you, by the end of the day today, everybody in Kisii will be having money in this account.
Yeah, let's talk about
talk to contractors.
Yeah, suppliers.
Now,
2 years down the line, money which was allocated a budget and a half ago, people have not been paid. Where is the money going? And this is not just Kisii, but Kisii is also one of the notorious ones.
I'll tell you, under the new system of procurement, under the IFMIS and e-procurement, when you're given work, your money has been allocated.
Yes.
And once you finish your work, you're supposed to be paid. There may be cases of delays here and there, but that becomes an issue of management. The biggest problem is because this money comes on a monthly basis. Now you apply, the money comes this month, but you have not finished your work. What do? You wait until you finish work so you can be paid. Now by the time you apply, because all funds come from the National Treasury, and this is the problem we're fighting, that we should be given money in quarterlies. Maybe we can be given money for 3 months, maybe for 4 months. But if you give us money every month, but you know, one comes and gets a job for 10 million, and mobilization alone is 2 to 3 million. By the time it's done halfway, he wants paid half of the money. Now that money has not come from the national government because it becomes monthly. The delay.
But why won't you ask for it, anticipating that this work is going to be finished?
Yeah,
because
but
you know the schedules also, when work must be done, completion dates are there.
And that's why we're saying that since we adopted the new system of e-procurement, this problem is going to be eliminated.
There is also
that's why we adopted this system of e-procurement, so that once we give you work, we know your money is set. Say once you finish doing your work, you get paid. The previous system was seriously cumbersome. And you know, this is why I say some of these problems are transitional problems. We are moving to a new system. We are moving over from an old system that was seriously cumbersome. And even our accountants are learning how to use the e-procurement system.
On that, if I may, you know, Treasury has actually accused county governments of dragging their feet in as far as e-procurement, you know, is concerned.
We are new governments. Some of them sincere don't know how to do it, so they are learning. This is something that is new. There is a question of capacity building and training. And I mean, Terian, you don't wake up one morning and tell somebody who has been doing manual procurement that now we have moved to this system, and then he masters in a day. It's going to take time before we get acclimatized and used to doing it.
I've seen in today's press, I think 3 or 4 governors saying they are going to the banks to borrow money and to take overdraft to pay salaries. How tenable is that?
If we did not get any money in June and July, how do you want us to pay? Some county governments, like our government, we kind of
you take overdrafts, you borrow.
We kind of work our system and made sure that we had money to pay. Now that, see, if Kisii County was able to work out its way and was able to pay their workers when there was no money from the national government, now I can't say that Turkana will also do the same, or Tana River will also do the same. Now, if you are caught with workers complaining that they have not been paid, and you know this money has not come from the national government, what choice do you have? Take a quick loan, pay them. When the national government money comes, replace it.
But borrowed money comes with interest.
That's the problem. That's why the National Treasury should make sure that they give us money in time.
We want to take a final round of questions and then some final comments from you, Makali.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, I mean, going back to the overarching issue of deputy governors and governors working together. Yeah. The governors have a national summit with the national government. Do you have a national summit and with the governors and are you looking forward to getting some arrangement that can accommodate you to arrest the friction that characterizes most of the counties, as we said? Many, I think about half have got challenges between the number 1 and number 2 in those counties.
Yes, the governors of a national summit that is chaired by the president, and that's by law. And as I said, in most democracies, in Nigeria, in America, where we have governors, there is that body which is there by law. Now, there is also another body that is created that has come up through practice of deputy governors. These two bodies must work together. The Deputy Governors Forum and the Council of Governors must work together. Have they worked together before? Yes and no. Yes, because now we're doing it. No, because it was not there. It was not created yet. Now we have created it, and I must credit the Chairman of Council of Governors, Mr. His Excellency Honorable Munya, the Governor of Meru. He has been very receptive to the Forum of Deputy Governors, and he shares my view that deputy governors must work with governors for the success of devolution. We are stakeholders in the family of devolution, and we must work together. Now, coming back to your question, are we going to work together? Are these two bodies going to work together? The answer is yes. And I sincerely hope that we need to do that, because if we don't do that, we are creating cracks. And when we create cracks, we are allowing the enemies of devolution to find a way of creating a wedge between the governors and the deputy governors, so that they can be depicted that devolution is actually not working. So it's my sincere hope that we work together. And I think we're beginning to work together, and we hope to continue.
Let's go to the trappings of power, now that you have called His Excellency, the Governor of Meru, Honorable Munya.
Yes.
The trappings of power and the motor vehicles and flags. There used to be thieves here and there. Have you sorted it out? Are you also His Excellency? And do you have a flag? Do you have a number plate which is different from others?
You know, failures positions come with failures responsibilities and duties and images and packs. Worldwide, the governors are called their excellence. It's not only in Kenya. And some of these, titles are by tradition. You know, whether you call me excellence or call me honorable or call me just Mr. Mangi, I'm okay with that. What I want to do is to be able to work with the people of Kisii. Now, when it comes to vehicles, surely, an official vehicle is statutory. I don't see anything big about it.
Registration.
Huh?
And the flag.
Your registration.
Registration and the
Yes,
flag.
we have flags. In Kisii, the Kisii County Assembly passed a law that allows the governor, the deputy governor, and the speaker of the assembly to fly flags in our territory. So when I'm in Kisii, well, when the president of Kenya goes to Tanzania, he removes his flag.
No, they carry the flag. That is international. But just something.
So in Kisii, I fly flag. The governor, the deputy governor, and the speaker fly.
Yeah.
But sincerely speaking, we don't see that as anything big.
Well, it was a major thing.
It's unfortunate. As I said, it's because of this newness. It's not big. You see, but as a flag is a symbol of national unity, and I do not see anything wrong in anybody flying a flag. It's a symbol of national. In America, everybody flies a flag, and hoist a flag outside is a sign of national unity.
I think, okay, before we tie up, just you haven't spoken anything about Kisii and what is coming for Kisii. It's a big county, a lot of investments from what we see getting into Kisii, growth projections, anything that people should be expecting from Kisii or going up in Kisii soon.
In late November, we want to host the first Kisii International Investment Conference, and I invite you all. I invite our Kenyans into coming. And I'll tell you, Kisii is one of those success stories in the history of devolution. We have a factory, we have an avocado factory in Kisii right now. We are coming up with several cottage industries to cater for the growing green industry in Kisii. Vegetables, bananas, pineapples. We come with cottage industries, and we're encouraging investors to come. We have, as I said, we already have an investor who was invested in the avocado industry. We have a factory of avocado. We're expecting a fruit processing factory so very soon. And Kisii is one of those counties that we are asking people to come and invest in.
In fact, it's the leading county in terms of foreign Kenyans repatriating, money back home.
And one of the counties with the most expensive land as well.
Yes, yes.
Mostly because of the diaspora.
Yes, they bought all the land and many...
Land in Kisii is very expensive, that's true, because we have very small parcels of land and our population is quite dense. I think we only compete with figure in terms of density population.
Yes.
In fact, there's a joke that Kisii County has become one large town because we are built everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's why we're very keen on manufacturing. And we are emphasizing on agro development, agro addition, what we call value addition in agricultural products. And this is one of the stories of successes in evolution. We have this special stone for carvings, the gemstone, the tobacco stone,
the soapstone.
The soapstone. Yeah. And we're encouraging people to come and buy stones and those stones. So we are actually in the process of establishing a factory to process that tobacco stone, which is a very special stone. And last year, we represented the country in the Smithsonian Festival in UK.
In the US.
Washington, the US. So Kisii is open for investment. And I want this opportunity to invite all Kenyans in mid-November. We'll be hosting the first international investment conference in Kisii, and we're inviting everybody to join us and sample what we have in Kisii in terms of investment opportunities, especially in the area of agro-industries, agro-based industries, and value addition.
Okay, we have to wind up now, and I'd like to get a final comment from you, just as a wrap-up comment. Have we been looking at this argument on one side only? Because the flip side is, what if it is the deputy governors in these isolated cases that are doing the chest thumping and fighting the governors?
That's a very good question, Telian. And I hope somebody was listening, that you're being one-sided. We are attacking the deputy governors.
No, in essence, we have been attacking the governors. Yeah. We have been attacking the governors.
That the governors are intolerant, they are manipulative, but it might be that the deputies are the ones who are a problem because they're ambitious.
I think the problem is that we are not used to this position. These are new positions. You're
not used to being number two.
Yes, these are new positions. Most of the deputy governors who are general managers who they were before, most of the deputy governors who are accomplished professionals. So we are getting used to the fact that we are number two. But the most important thing is that we are keen on delivering on the manifestos. And I appeal to all governors in the country, work together with your deputy governors, because
you should be appealing to deputy governors.
It's about delivering services to manage.
All right. Okay, we have to wind up now. Thank you so much for your comments. We've been talking to Josh Mangi, the chair of the Forum of Deputy Governors, as well as the Deputy Governor for Kisii County, and of course David Makali, Mutegi Njau, and myself, Terry Anchibet, and I've been standing in for Udwa Kamimo. You've been watching Cheche, the show where opinion counts. Have a beautiful day.